Everyone who has a passing knowledge of the Epistle of James knows two things. First, our old friend Martin Luther found this epistle lacking because of its emphasis on the role of works in the life of faith. Luther's great insight that spawned the Reformation was that we are saved not by works, but only by God's grace received through faith. The second thing people remember about this epistle is the passage for today where James famously says, "Show me your faith apart from your works, and I by my works will show you my faith." The real question is the relationship between the two. Hello, I'm Stuart Baskin, pastor of First Presbyterian Church of Tyler, Texas, and this is your daily devotional for Saturday, August 30th, 2025. In fairness to Luther, because I think ultimately his judgment on the Epistle of James was unfounded, James included a provocative question. Here's how the passage begins. It includes three rhetorical questions in a row, followed by a concluding statement. Pay special attention to the second question. What good is it, my brothers and sisters, if you say you have faith but do not have works? Can faith save you? If a brother or sister is naked and lacks daily food, and one of you says to them, "Go in peace, keep warm, and eat your fill," and yet you do not supply their bodily needs, what is the good of that? So faith by itself, if it has no works, is dead. From Luther's perspective, and for that matter ours as well, the answer to James's second rhetorical question, "Can faith save you?" is yes. Or more precisely, we are saved by grace through faith. But James isn't wrong to ask the question this way. Just believing that something is true is not the same as actively trusting, which is what faith is really all about. As he continues, notice how he says that even demons believe. He writes, "But someone will say, 'You have faith, and I have works. Show me your faith apart from your works, and I by my works will show you my faith.' You believe that God is one. You do well. Even the demons believe and shudder." What James is getting at here is that the simple act of believing that God is one is not faith. Demons cannot be said to have faith, even if they do believe in God. So for James, there is something more at stake than the simple act of believing that something is true. It's as much a matter of acting on that belief, of trusting the object of our faith enough to base our lives upon it. That's what James means when he talks about works. It is a life lived in faithful service to God. Here's how he concludes this section. He writes, "Do you want to be shown, you senseless person, that faith apart from works is barren? Was not our ancestor Abraham justified by works when he offered his son Isaac on the altar? You see that faith was acting along with his works, and faith was brought to completion by the works. Thus the scripture was fulfilled that says, 'Abraham believed God, and it was reckoned to him as righteousness, and he was called the friend of God.' You see that a person is justified by works and not by faith alone. Likewise, was not Rahab the prostitute also justified by works when she welcomed the messengers and sent them out by another road? For just as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is also dead." Like the author of the letter to the Hebrews, James points to the faith of Abraham and Rahab that prompted them to do something, to act in faith, to act on faith. That's really what James means here. I don't think he fundamentally disagrees either with Paul or with Martin Luther in this. Living faithfully begins with faith, but a faith that does not have any impact on the way we actually live is no faith at all. It's only belief that something is true. It is not a trust in the one whom we say we believe, a trust that this one has the power to save us or to call us into lives of faithful service. Luther and Paul are absolutely correct. We cannot save ourselves by checking off a bunch of boxes, but we cannot save ourselves by earning God's favor. On the other hand, though, James is absolutely correct. If our faith doesn't change us, it is no faith at all. Faith, then, is about putting our lives and our actions in service to the God who saves us. When we return Monday, we'll take a slight detour and talk a little bit about Labor Day, and then we'll return on Tuesday to begin finishing out the rest of this letter. But for now, may God continue to bless you and keep you in all that you do this day and in all the days ahead.